Hello everyone and welcome to my CBS Soaps official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tuesday, October 14, 2025. Today on The Young and the Restless, Harrison puts Kyle on the spot, Claire and Holden visit his old haunt in LA, and Sally goes against Jill's wishes. At the Abbott residence, Kyle tells his parents he's flying out soon. They're not impressed that he's leaving Harrison, who just got back from Italy, but he says he has to get to Claire before Holden gets to her. Jack and Diane are surprised to learn that Victoria betrayed her daughter's confidence and told Kyle where she's staying. Kyle convinced her it was important to get Claire away from Holden. Jack grimaces. They're concerned he won't get the result he's hoping for. Claire might find his actions intrusive. Stating the obvious to anyone but Kyle, Diane wonders if it will make things even worse. Kyle promises to handle things carefully, admitting that they were right about his proposing and planning a trip to Paris. Grousing about Holden, Diane warns he's sounding jealous. Maybe Claire just wants to let loose a bit. There's a real chance she knows exactly what she's gotten herself into and is okay with it. After his parents load him up with advice, Kyle's surprised when Harrison runs downstairs and asks him not to go. The worst thing happened. As Jack and Diane disperse, Harrison reveals that he had a nightmare about being with him and Claire in a car. Claire got out and eventually he couldn't see her anymore. Kyle reassures the boy that he's going to see her. In Los Angeles at a nightclub, Claire gushes to Holden about what a good tour guide he is as they sip Vespers. She's impressed by the exclusive club and he tells her this was his spot when he lived there. As they go over their plans for tomorrow, Holden marvels that Claire is making him see the magic of Los Angeles in a new way. "We're just getting started," he declares. They toast. Claire and Holden compare notes on their pasts and find something else in common as a woman walks over and exclaims, "Holden Novick." She chides him for not calling ahead and asks, "Where the hell have you been, stranger?" Holden greets Sienna and guesses she's still running the place. After introductions are made, Sienna chirps that he's refined his taste in woman. Anyone's better than that last woman, Audra. Sienna asks what happened to her and Holden says she's part of his past that he'd like to forget. Claire raises an eyebrow as he shuts down the line of questioning. Sienna teases, "Make sure he behaves," and walks off. Claire immediately starts fishing about what happened between him and Audra. Holden won't take the bait. When Claire goes to the restroom, Sienna rejoins Holden, who warns her not to bring up Audra to cause trouble. He tells the woman they're just friends, so jealousy not on the cards. Sienna noticed she looked a little too innocent for his tastes. Holden argues that Claire's savvy, like you. Sienna slings back, "Well, you oughta know." Back in Genoa City, at the Jazz Lounge bar, Sally's on a video call with Jill, who tells her she's sorry she didn't have time to meet her about Abbott Communications while she was in town, but she admired her proposal and has decided to invest. Sally's thrilled. As Jill warns that Billy can't know about their arrangement, he walks down the stairs. Jill tells Sally to figure out what to say to Billy and warns her not to let her feelings get in the way. Her son may lead her down a path where she definitely doesn't want to be. Sally logs off quickly and Billy, who has walked over, notices. Sally admits the person she was speaking to asked her to keep their identity a secret from him. "It was your mom," she blurts. Billy starts ranting about Jill calling his girlfriend. When Sally is able to get a word in edgewise, she tells him she's willing to invest in their company. So much for keeping the secret. Billy learns that Sally made the proposal and declares there is no way in hell his mother is going to be the primary investor in his company. Sally reminds him she gave up everything for Abbott Communications. He can't believe she did this without consulting him. Sally insists it's a sign of Jill's faith in him. Billy has a big problem with this. Once again, he'll be at her mercy. Sally argues that Jill asked her not to tell him she's investing. Billy warns she could pull the funding if she finds out Sally told him. Sally thinks it's riskier to keep Jill's involvement from him. She can't build a company or a relationship on a lie. Billy feels this is a test. At the nightclub in LA, Sienna's giving Holden a hard time about not calling or emailing when he asks if she's still with Mitch. She says they're partners for life but admits she's not sure where he is right now. Claire rejoins them, and Sienna warns her not to take crap from anyone or to ever find herself under someone's thumb. Once she's gone, Claire tells Holden she's looking forward to getting to the bottom of his mysteries. Is that what the kids are calling it these days? Still flirting, Claire teases that cracking the Holden code will entail getting to know him a lot better. She's up for the challenge. They toast. At the Abbott residence, Harrison can't wait for Claire to see his Halloween costume and asks Kyle if they're still moving in together. Kyle vaguely says he wants to spend as much time with Claire as possible. Deanne and Jack reappear as Kyle assures him he'll bring Claire home and make everything better. In the jazz lounge, Sally tells Billy to decide if he wants to take the next step alone or go down this road with her as a partnership. He wonders if rejecting Jill's money will mean rejecting her too. Sally needs him to trust her. This is the right move. Billy worries about Jill interfering in the company and decides he should talk to her himself. Make sure she's in this for the right reasons. Sally warns that's a terrible idea. He could kill any chance they have of moving forward with the launch. Please don't make me sorry that I trusted you. Tuesday, October 14, 2025, the young and the restless crossed wires and broken boundaries. Today on The Young and the Restless, Harrison puts Kyle on the spot, Claire and Holden make waves in Lowe's Angels, and Sally goes against Jill's wishes, setting off a chain reaction that could blow everything sky high. Scene 1, Abbott Residence, the goodbye nobody wanted. Morning sunlight streams through the Abbott mansion's tall windows, spilling across the polished floors as Kyle Abbott paces the living room with his phone in hand and a packed suitcase nearby. Jack and Diane watch him from the archway, exchanging knowing looks as he finishes another call that sounds more like a lecture than a conversation. Kyle, Diane begins gently, you can't seriously think running off to Lowe's Angels right now is the answer. He exhales sharply, Mom, I'm not running off, I'm trying to fix things. Claire's out there with Holden Novick and I have no idea what he's telling her. Jack folds his arms, and you think showing up uninvited is going to fix that. Kyle sets his jaw, I'm not going to let her fall for that guy's games, Holden has a reputation. Jack nods slowly, clearly remembering his own youthful missteps. So did I once. And I learned that when a woman needs space, showing up at her door isn't always romantic. Sometimes it's just intrusive. Kyle rubs his face in frustration. I know how it looks, Dad, but Victoria told me where Claire is staying, she said. Diane interrupts, eyebrows lifting. Victoria told you, you mean she betrayed her daughter's confidence. Kyle hesitates, realizing how bad it sounds when said aloud. She thought it was the right thing to do. I convinced her that Claire might be in trouble. Jack grimaces. So now you've got two women potentially angry at you instead of one. You sure you want to double down? Kyle gives a weak laugh. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Diane places a hand on his shoulder. Honey, we just don't want you to make things worse. Claire's been through enough. Maybe she just needs time. Maybe she does, Kyle admits softly. But I can't just sit here while Holden gets in her head. I have to try. Before they can say more, a thundering of small feet echoes down the stairs. Harrison bursts into the room, hair tousled, clutching his stuffed dinosaur. His little face is pale. Dad, don't go, he cries. The worst thing happened. Kyle immediately kneels, pulling him close. Hey, what's wrong, buddy? Harrison's eyes fill with tears. I had a nightmare. We were in a car, me, you, and Claire, and she got out. You said we'd catch up, but we never did. I couldn't see her anymore. Diane exchanges a look with Jack, both silently acknowledging the eerie symbolism of a child's dream sometimes hitting too close to home. Kyle hugs Harrison tighter. It was just a dream, champ. Claire's fine. I promise I'll see her soon. But will she come back with you? Harrison sniffles. Kyle hesitates. That's the plan, he whispers, though even he doesn't sound convinced. Jack clears his throat. Harrison, why don't you help Grandma pack your lunch? Let your dad finish getting ready. As Harrison shuffles off, Kyle stares at his phone again, determination hardening his features. I'll bring her home, he murmurs, more to himself than to anyone else. Scene 2, Lowe's Angels, Vespers and Old Ghosts. Meanwhile, the energy in Lowe's Angels couldn't be more different. A private nightclub, lit by gold chandeliers and buzzing with low jazz, hums with laughter and the clinking of martini glasses. Claire Grace, dressed in a shimmering champagne dress, takes a sip of her cocktail and smiles across the table at Holden Novick. You really weren't kidding when you said you knew this city, she teases. Holden grins, leaning back lazily. What can I say? I know the corners, the secrets, the stories. This place, he gestures around them, used to be my escape. Claire glances around, impressed. It's beautiful, and this drink, Vesper, right? You're making me rethink my go-to wine spritzer. Good, Holden says with a smirk. You're in LA now, might as well taste a little danger. They laugh, toasting. For a moment, Holden's charm seems effortless and Claire can't help but be drawn in. But beneath his charm, there's an edge, a mystery he carefully guards. Tell me something real, she challenges, something you haven't told anyone in a long time. He pauses, eyes darkening just slightly. I used to think I could fix people, he admits. Now I know you can only understand them or lose them. Before Claire can respond, a female voice cuts through the din. Well, if it is Holden Novick. They both turn to see a striking brunette with a commanding presence striding over, her smile as sharp as her heels. Sienna, Holden says, clearly surprised. Still running the place, I see. You bet, she replies with a wink. And you still have a thing for pretty blondes, though this one seems a bit more refined than the last one. Claire raises a polite smile. I'm Claire. Sienna chuckles. Pleasure, let me guess you have no idea who Audra is. Holden's jaw tightens. Sienna. What, I'm just making conversation, she says sweetly. Claire glances at Holden. Audra. He forces a smile. Ancient history. Sienna smirks knowingly. Well, make sure he behaves himself, sweetheart. She pats Holden's arm and glides away. Claire waits until she's gone before speaking. Ancient history, huh? Holden looks away. Let's just say she wasn't who I thought she was. And now, Claire asks softly, do you think I am? He meets her eyes, something flickering behind his guarded smile. You're a mystery, I'm still deciding if that's good or dangerous. Scene 3, Genoa City, Secrets and Stakeholders. At the Jazz Lounge, Sally Spectra sits at a dimly lit table, laptop open, face glowing with excitement. On the screen, Jill Abbott's perfectly composed image beams back at her. I'm sorry we didn't get to meet in person, Jill says briskly, but I've reviewed your proposal. It's sharp, ambitious, and frankly, exactly what Abbott Communications needs. Sally's heart leaps. You're saying? I'm in, Jill cuts in. I'll fund it, but one condition Billy can't know. Sally's brow furrows. You don't want him to know his own mother is investing. Not until I say so, Jill insists. If Billy finds out too soon, he'll sabotage the deal out of pride. You know how he is, keep him focused. Sally hesitates, but before she can respond, she hears footsteps. Billy's unmistakable voice calls out behind her. Hey, I didn't realize you were still here. Sally's eyes widen. Jill, I have to go. Remember what I said, Jill warns. Don't let your feelings cloud your judgment. The call ends just as Billy arrives, coffee in hand and suspicion already brewing in his expression. Who was that? He asks casually, but his tone says otherwise. Sally closes the laptop. Just someone from the board. They wanted to keep their identity a secret. Billy narrows his eyes, and she sighs. It was your mom. His head jerks back. You're kidding me. She wanted to invest. In our company, he interrupts. There is no way in hell Jill Abbott is going to control my future again. Sally holds her ground. Billy, she believes in you, she believes in us. Billy laughs bitterly. Oh, please, my mother does believe, she manipulates. Sally's voice hardens. This isn't about her, it's about keeping the company alive. Billy runs a hand through his hair. And you didn't think to ask me before cutting deals with my mother behind my back. I did what I had to do, she says quietly, and for the record, I didn't like keeping it from you. He paces, torn. You don't understand, Jill always has strings attached. If she's funding this, she'll own it and us. Sally's eyes flash, then prove her wrong, build it stronger together. Billy looks at her, his anger fatting into weary affection. You really think this is a partnership? I know it is, she says softly, unless you decide otherwise. Scene 4, Los Angeles, lines crossed. Later that night, Holden leans against the bar, swirling his drink as Sienna slides up beside him again. You really shouldn't get involved with her, Sienna says. She's too pure for you. Holden smirks. Since when do you care who I get involved with? Sienna arches an eyebrow. Since you walked in here acting like you hadn't broken hearts all across California. He sighs. I'm not that guy anymore. Right, she says, unconvinced. And I'm not still in love with Mitch. Before Holden can respond, Claire returns, smiling as she approaches. You two look serious. Sienna laughs lightly. Oh, just reminiscing. Word of advice, don't let him steer the ship too much. Holden likes to take control, and before you know it, you're just along for the ride. Claire tilts her head. Good thing I don't scare easily. Holden smiles faintly. Told you she was savvy. As Sienna walks away, Claire sips her drink. So, what's next on this tour of your ghosts? Tomorrow, Holden says, I show you the view from the Hollywood Hills. It's where I used to go when I needed to think. About Audra, she teases lightly. He meets her gaze, about starting over. Scene 5, Abbott residence, promises and plans. Later that evening, back in Genoa City, Kyle zips his suitcase and turns to find Harrison waiting in the doorway, now in his pajamas. Dad, if you find Claire, will you tell her I miss her? Kyle kneels. You can tell her yourself soon, okay? I promise. Jack and Diane reappear, looking worried but resigned. Diane squeezes her son's hand. Please, Kyle, don't chase something if it's not ready to be caught. I'll be careful, he says, but I can't sit here wondering what might have been. He glances toward the door, unaware that the choices he's about to make will test every bond he has left. Scene 6, Jazz Lounge, Faith or Folly. Sally and Billy sit in silence, tension thick as smoke. Finally, Billy breaks it. If I walk away from this deal, I walk away from you too, don't I? Sally looks up, eyes wet. You don't have to walk away, you just have to trust me. He shakes his head. Trust is easy to say, harder to live. Then let's live it, she whispers. Because if we can't trust each other now, we don't have a company or a future. Billy leans back, conflicted. Maybe I should talk to her myself. Sally stiffens. Don't, you'll spook her and destroy everything. He studies her face, searching for doubt. Please don't make me sorry I trusted you, she says softly. And for once, Billy doesn't answer. Tomorrow on The Young and the Restless. Kyle's flight to Los Angeles takes an unexpected turn. Holden's past resurfaces in the worst possible way. And Sally learns that when it comes to deals with Jill Abbott, nothing is ever as simple or safe as it seems. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and don't miss any updates.